So when you look at this Ravens D, they're playing really well, better than I think when you guys played them the last time. So what are they doing so well? How has Roquan changed things, and what do you have to worry about?
Well, this is a very talented defense, as you know. I mean, they're stacked in terms of talent, but they're really well coached. And I mean, and all the players, I mean, they're playing at a high level. So you've got there's not a lot of weak links on that defense. I don't see any, in fact. So I think that they've kind of come into their own. They have added Roquan, and that's a big addition, as well as Bowser. So I think they're playing at their best level right now. So it's a big challenge for us.
You're sort of having to shuffle guys in and out, especially at the center position, but you've had injuries kind of across the line. What challenge has that presented to you guys?
It's a challenge, but it's part of the program. I mean, everybody kind of goes through it, with injuries around the league. But I think for us to have that one kind of a key position, center, getting all the calls, getting the communication, and then obviously the techniques that coincide with that. Of course, it's a challenge when you have multiple people in there. And Yelda Frohold, I mean, he never played center prior to this season, so we're really proud of the way he's been working and improving on a daily basis, trying to elevate himself. And so it's a challenge, but it's something that our guys are definitely up for.
What are the biggest adjustments for the run game when you make the switch from Jacoby to Deshaun, given the maybe more shotgun, more pistol, even the run or the RPO stuff that is now being kind of integrated into the offense?
The challenges for the offense, or for
like the offensive line blocking, it seems like the run game wasn't the same last week, especially, and I was wondering if that had to do with, and Joel said there's some adjustments when you're running out of the shotgun or there's RPOs involved.
Yeah, there's always going to be some wrinkles, but on a weekly basis, depending on the opponent, even with Jacoby, we were having, you'd make adjustments up front, but with Deshaun, it's another layer, in terms of his abilities with the ball, on his feet. So I think the guys are really have embraced that, and it's something again we're working to improve on a daily basis there. But I mean, there's certain plays that are going to be different, but that's like I said, we were running weekly prior to Deshaun. There's always going to be wrinkles in terms of the run game. So I think, but having some new concepts in there definitely is a good, it's a good opportunity for each of these guys, our guys. But when in terms of the technique, there's some subtle differences. But these are things that we've been working through training camp on.
There was obviously a couple of holds, I think Yoda was called for an illegal man downfield that were kind of byproducts of Deshaun's ability to extend plays and everything. Is there a way, I know game reps are the best way to, kind of get acclimated to what he can do, but is there a way during the week in practice to simulate that at all? Or is that just something that, it's just part of the kind of the growing process with him between the line and Deshaun?
In terms of like the way you
react, knowing,
knowing that he might move out of the pocket. Yeah, I think it's an awareness, and obviously, like, we can't control the holding calls in a lot of cases, but we're trying to, obviously keep our hands inside, keep our hands in front, and keep our body in front too. So, at times when we're not, our guys aren't sure if Deshaun's evading the pocket, you can't keep your hands on that because they're going to see some cloth. But I think those are things that are out of our control, but we're certainly aware of it.
How has Jed been playing for you? And sometimes when you look up the PFF grades, they don't look all that great. But how has he been playing, and is it hard to grade offensive linemen in a situation like that?
I don't know much about PFF, to be honest. I mean, there's some stock into it, and obviously it has its merit. I don't know what his grades are there, but thought he did a nice job in the pass protection last week, and he's got a real challenge this week. Obviously with Baltimore, they got such good talent on the edges, so Jed's got his work cut out, but he's continually improving, so we're looking forward to that.
With him, I mean, there's so much focus on him. He's a top 10 pick. What are the things that you guys work on week in, week out with him that you stress that he needs to do better, on Sundays?
It's core fundamental techniques, and as the season always progresses, a long season, and this is true for everybody, you'll find that sometimes techniques can erode if you're not really on top of that. So we're always on top of that. We want to make sure we're it's like whack-a-mole. Sometimes one thing here, one thing there. So it's a series of things. It's always there's not any one specific thing, but yeah, we're always trying to improve and refine and develop and continue to advance technique in that regard. But then you have different types of opponents you'll play, so that you have to be aware of certain moves that they have. But other than that, there's nothing. It's just a continuous, constant effort to improve.
Being voted Ed Block this week, how remarkable was it that he was able to come back from an injury of that magnitude and start the season and play well?
It is incredibly remarkable, and he has my full respect. I mean, and the respect of everyone because of that. I mean, that's to come back from a full tear like that in the knee, patella. I mean, a lot of people don't, and he did, and he came back, and man, super proud of Jack, and he's well deserving of that award.
Like for you, these last 3 years working with Bill Callahan, what have you picked up from him, being around him every day?
I couldn't even begin to tell you what I've picked up. I'll just say it's been remarkable, it's unbelievable. Couldn't ask for a better mentor, better person to work around, and just a better offensive line coach, because Bill's the full package, and so it's been amazing, amazing thing for me to be a part of that.
Still with Wyatt and the calf, I mean, are you noticing that there's just some things that he's just not able to do because he's battling through that calf injury?
I'm not sure. I can't speak to the injury itself. I know it had, I think it had hampered him a little bit, but I think he's okay now.
I'm assuming Joel's going to make it to the Pro Bowl again this year. You've been around enough for a while. What do you love most about his game?
I mean, Joel's the consummate professional. It's not just the mental aspect of what he brings. He's the same person every single day. You're getting the same guy every day, which I love, and he's always looking to improve, and he brings the group up around him. So I mean, there's nothing I can say that isn't like highly positive about Joel. He's amazing.
Technically, what does he do better than the rest of the guys in the league that makes him an all-pro guy?
Well, technically speaking, I mean, I just know that he's just a very intuitive, intelligent player. So he everybody has some physical attributes, but he's got the physical attributes, but the mental aspect of his game is really, really impressive.
Calais Campbell, what challenges does he present for you guys?
Calais Campbell is a human. He's a massive human. He's and he's very good football player. In fact, I played with Calais Campbell ways back. So it's amazing he's still playing at this level. It's unbelievable. I just was watching him. I'm like, he's still playing at an extremely high level. I don't see any drop. I mean, he's beating people in many different ways. But again, like the accumulation of years that he has, it just lends itself to playing at a high level from an intelligence standpoint. He really knows he sees things before they develop. He knows postures and subtle cues that he uses to beat people. So he's got the physical, but he's got the mental, and I think that those two things, and the physical being that he's 6'8", and he's got arms that are twice as long as most people's arms. So he's a phenomenal player and a great, really intelligent player as well.